The name Demetrius appears in the Christian Greek scriptures, New Testament, and refers to two distinct individuals who played different roles in the early Christian era. Understanding their stories provides valuable insights into the challenges and triumphs faced by early Christians, as well as lessons applicable to modern-day worshippers. Below is an in-depth exploration of both Demetriuses, as presented by Jehovah's Witnesses and detailed on jw.org. Demetrius the Silversmith. Biblical account. Demetrius the Silversmith is mentioned in the book of Acts chapter 19 verses 23 to 41. He was a craftsman in the city of Ephesus, renowned for making silver shrines of the goddess Artemis, also known as Diana. His livelihood depended heavily on the sale of these idols, which were integral to the worship practices in Ephesus. Conflict with Paul. The Apostle Paul arrived in Ephesus and began preaching the good news about Jesus Christ. His message emphasized the worship of Jehovah alone and denounced idolatry. As a result, many Ephesians started turning away from idol worship, which directly threatened the income of artisans like Demetrius. Inciting a riot. Concerned about the decline in their business, Demetrius gathered fellow craftsmen and voiced his grievances. He said, "Men, you know that from this business we have our prosperity. And you see and hear how this fellow Paul has persuaded and turned away a considerable crowd, not only in Ephesus but nearly all of Asia, saying that the gods made with hands are not gods." Acts chapter 19 verses 25 to 26. Demetrius's speech stirred the crowd's emotions, leading to a massive uproar in the city. The mob seized some of Paul's companions and filled the theater, shouting, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians." The situation escalated until the city clerk intervened, calming the crowd and averting potential violence. Jehovah's Witnesses perspective. Defending false worship. Demetrius represents those who, out of selfish interests, oppose true worship. His primary concern was financial gain rather than genuine devotion to Artemis. Jehovah's Witnesses highlight how personal interests can blind individuals to spiritual truths. Impact of true worship. The incident illustrates the transformative power of the Christian message. The significant shift in Ephesus demonstrates how embracing Jehovah's teachings can lead to substantial changes in societal norms and personal lives. Modern application. Today, Jehovah's Witnesses face opposition from individuals and organizations that feel threatened by their preaching work. The account of Demetrius serves as a reminder to remain steadfast in the face of opposition and to trust in Jehovah's protection. Demetrius commended by the Apostle John. Biblical account. The second Demetrius is mentioned briefly in the third epistle of John, 3 John chapter 12. The Apostle John writes, "Demetrius has been testified to by all, and by the truth itself. Indeed, we also are bearing witness, and you know that our witness is true." Character and reputation. Though details about this Demetrius are sparse, the commendation from John suggests he was a faithful Christian with an excellent reputation among fellow believers. His adherence to the truth and exemplary conduct made him stand out in the early Christian congregation. Jehovah's Witnesses perspective. Exemplary faithfulness. Demetrius serves as a model for Christians today. His life demonstrates the importance of living in harmony with biblical truths and earning the respect of others through upright conduct. Endorsement of truth. John's testimony about Demetrius emphasizes the value of a good reputation within the Christian congregation. Jehovah's Witnesses encourage members to cultivate qualities that reflect positively on their faith and bring honor to Jehovah. Contrast with Diotrephes. In the same letter, John mentions Diotrephes, who loved to have the first place among them and did not accept anything from the apostles. 3 John chapters 9 to 10. The juxtaposition of Demetrius and Diotrephes highlights the contrast between humility and arrogance, obedience and rebellion. Lessons and applications. Integrity in worship. The accounts of both Demetriuses offer lessons on integrity. The silversmith prioritized material wealth over spiritual truths, leading to opposition against God's work. In contrast, the Demetrius commended by John exemplified integrity by living according to the truth. Facing opposition. Jehovah's Witnesses often refer to Demetrius the Silversmith when discussing persecution and opposition. Just as Paul and the early Christians faced hostility, modern-day witnesses may encounter challenges. The account encourages them to remain courageous and continue their ministry despite obstacles. Positive influence. The commendation of Demetrius in 3 John underscores the impact one individual can have within the congregation. Jehovah's Witnesses emphasize the importance of being a positive influence, encouraging others, and contributing to the unity and spiritual health of the community. Avoiding materialism. Demetrius the Silversmith's focus on material gain serves as a cautionary tale. Jehovah's Witnesses teach that prioritizing wealth over spiritual matters can lead to adverse outcomes. They advocate for a balanced view of material possessions, placing spiritual pursuits at the forefront. Historical and cultural context. Ephesus and idol worship. Ephesus was a major city in Asia Minor, known for the Temple of Artemis, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. The city's economy was closely tied to the temple and the sale of religious artifacts. Understanding this context helps explain the intensity of Demetrius's reaction to Paul's preaching. The spread of Christianity. The rapid growth of Christianity threatened established religious and economic systems. The account of Demetrius reflects the broader challenges the early Christians faced as they spread their